but I'm saying that's what women are. That's the pushback that women are saying. Like, it doesn't matter what I do. I should still be treated with respect. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, of course. But I think it probably would be the same thing for women. I mean, for men. Like, that's almost like saying just because I have all gold teeth top and bottom with multiple chains and my pants sagging, don't you think I'm a thug? You know, and it's just like, well, we don't know. Or don't you think I'm out here on the street? So I think perception, implicit bias, all of that stuff, like, we automatically come with, and it's just, that's just the reality of it. So it's carry the way that you want to be seen, or carry the way that you want to be treated. But at the end of the day, your appearance can sometimes teach people how to treat you, or, you know, until they have a conversation with you, then they're going to, you know, that also teaches them how to treat you. But if a person judging a book by its cover, we already know, like, we learned that in like second grade. Like,
and dare I say, in this space, when we are talking about social justice, right? In this current climate, when we're talking about social justice, and we're talking about protect Black women, and we're talking about trust Black women, and we're talking about locking up the race soldiers that murdered Breonna Taylor, and we're talking about Kamala Harris, who is the first ever she's the VP nominee for the Democratic Party. We'll get to Kamala, but is this the right song for this time in this moment? Because it's like Black men and women are trying to uplift, because of Sandra, we're trying to uplift the image of Black women, and stuff like that. And then we got a jam that's number one. Talk about there's some hoes in this house. Huh?
How about the music that Black men are making? It goes both ways.
I don't like that argument. We talk about we talk about WAP right now.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're gonna talk about one, talk about all. Y'all
but guess what?
If that song wasn't as hype as it is, y'all really wouldn't be mad right now.
No. Do you think I dislike the video?
Listen.
Do you really think that I sat up there and said, this is I can't believe this you really think I watched that video like that?
He was just like that. Look at that video. Look how close
I was like this with some chips. I didn't even watch it. I was not watching it like that. You think I was offended? No, I'm not offended.
But I'm saying that's what women are. That's the pushback that women are.
Yo, hey, welcome to the Soapboxx Podcast. I'm your host, TJ Legacy, and I'm joined with the fam all the way from, let's do Tallahassee, Florida. Actually, I don't like how this is. We got both the men on the top. I'm not going to let y'all me over here. No, I can't have just on the top. I want just next to me. All right, here we go. We're going to add. There we go. Sorry about that. Here we go. Boom.
You're forgiven.
Here we go. What's going on, Soapboxx Nation? TJ Legacy, all the way from Tallahassee, Florida, back from the vacay. We got Just Giovanni. What's up, Giovanni?
Still on my vacation vibes. Doing a choo-choo come around.
You was cutting up, huh?
What's up, TJ? What's up, everybody? Doing pretty good. Definitely happy to be back with the Soapboxx.
Word. You look refreshed. The skin is glowing. All right, the blue and it's just a whole thing going on.
Thank you.
Also back from vacay, Jesse,
vacay babe,
who was in Orlando. What's going on, Jesse?
What's popping? You know, I'm feeling good because I got a whole recharge. I got to go on vacation away from my badass kids who I love so much. But, you know, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. You know, you already know what time it is.
It is. It's that time.
Yo, if y'all follow Jesse on her Instagram at Andrade Me, she was on her worst behavior, acting up without them cheering by her side on her vacation.
As I should.
I gotta see what you was doing on there, girl.
Yes, but the fellas held it down. My man, all the way from NYC, Jersey, all that good stuff. Alan York, what's good, man?
Hey man, you know I ain't got no exciting stories. I've been here in my chair, living vicariously through y'all. Young Red Bull tonight. TJ, how you been, man? What's going on? What's the word? How you feeling?
Yo, I'm feeling good. I'm actually feeling refreshed. I'm feeling healthy. I'm feeling it, man. I'm doing really well. Listen, for those who have been following the Soapboxx Podcast, you guys know that June 10th is a very special day. And June 10th is a special day because June 10th is actually 2 years to the date that the Soapboxx Podcast actually launched on all of our streaming services. So yes, we are 2 years old in the podcast world today. So shout out to, us for being on the Soapboxx Podcast. And we just want to thank, real quick, I'm going to just go around. I know we're going to do more of the story, but go around. If we all just have like a brief something that you want to say to people in Soapboxx Nation that has been supporting us for 2 years strong. So I'm going to give you all the floor. We can just go around the horn, starting with Giovanni.
Can you repeat that?
Oh, we just wanted to, acknowledge and thank the people that have supported us throughout the 2 years and stuff. If you had some words for the Soapboxx Nation.
Well, what TJ said, definitely want to thank everyone for supporting us and everybody who always has my back when TJ tries to clown me and make it seem like I'm an old lady. Shout out to my people, my corner, the people in my corner. 2 years ago, we did our first live show, and I think that was an experience that I never will forget. It was amazing. So I am excited to see what's in store going forward. And y'all already know, follow me on my regular platform, Just Giovanni. And just going to continue to bring the realness, the love to the Soapboxx and that good heart.
I'm mad that Giovanni is going to blame me for her being, in her late 20s and going on 76 years old, and she gonna blame me for that, But Alan,
what you said? Folks was raised by our grandmama, so I was in the kitchen flicking my wrist when I was about 5 years old.
I feel you. Yo, Alan York, what you got to say to Soapboxx Nation, man? Yo, everybody hasn't been on vacation.
That's what he has to say right there. He does that all the time. Comes in with a muted mic.
You see how I knew all three of them was gonna pounce on me. So that's why I left myself muted.
Very aggressive podcast.
And just let them, you know what I'm saying?
Very aggressive tonight.
So, first off, I just wanted to say thank you guys. Thank everyone. If you guys have been around for 2 years, if you guys have been around for 2 months. We do appreciate you guys tuning in, and we do encourage you guys to keep tuning in because all of this is going to continue to get better elevation. And you want to make sure you buy into the stock right now so you can get your dividends in the long run. So appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
Absolutely. And yes, of course, we got to hear from Jesse. What do you have to say to Soapboxx Nation? Yo, shout out to Maya, who was here last week, who pulled up on us last week. Also, Kay Verdian was pulling up, wanted to see Jesse, but Jesse was on her vacation, Grizzy. So, yes, what do you got to say to Soapboxx Nation?
What I got to say to wait, first of all, Alan, it got to be you with the sirens in the background because you're from New York, so please mute your mic.
Keeping it very off. You know what I'm saying?
Please.
Alan is in a very dangerous neighborhood. Alan, blink twice if you need help.
It sounds like a lion over there.
I'll just keep it off.
Yes, what I gotta say to Soapboxx Nation. First and foremost, shout out to y'all because, like Bow Wow said, without y'all, there would be no me. There would be no Soapboxx. Wait a minute.
You gonna quote Bow Wow, the great philosopher Bow Wow?
I used to be obsessed with Bow Wow. Fun fact: I used to be obsessed. When I'm talking about obsessed, I used to be obsessed with Bow Wow. So yeah. So
Lord.
like I said, shout out to y'all, because like for real, if it wasn't for y'all, there would be no Soapboxx. And like we appreciate y'all so much. Like Alan said, if you've been tuning in for 2 years or 2 months, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all so much. We're gonna keep it authentic always and forever. You know, we might get a little crazy sometimes, but you know, we gotta be real. We gotta be raw. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Shout out to the Soapboxx, and we appreciate y'all. Thank you for tuning in every week, for real.
Yeah,
because when we blow up, we gonna remember all of y'all. Period.
absolutely. Listen, and I want to, and I would be remiss if I didn't give a special shout out to some of our family that have moved on. I want to give a shout out to John Boy Fresh. Want to give a shout out to Robin. Want to give a shout out to Damon the Carter. Want to give a shout out to Ishna, like the people who have actually been on the podcast as hosts, whether you're guest hosts or guest contributors or hosts as well. You know, when I started this thing 2 years ago, like it was literally something I was scribbled on a notepad and was like, yo, this is what I want to do. And so no matter where you got off on the journey, your contributions, I definitely appreciate all the work that you did put in. And we're moving on to bigger and better things, and we appreciate those who are sticking here, who are with us. And we got a lot more bullshit to do here on the Soapboxx Podcast as we continue to build organically. But yes, we definitely want to give a shout out and thank you to those who have been here and stuck with us. All the guest contributors, all the guest comedians, and all the people who are doing stand-up who gave us the time of the day, people who watch us on Instagram Live, or people that follow us individually, like thank you. We couldn't do it without you. We are vastly approaching our 100th episode, which is another milestone. So we'll have a little bit more, special. We're still trying in the working stage of what we're going to do for that episode. But like we said, like everybody said, Soapboxx Podcast would not be anything without the Soapboxx Nation. So we appreciate y'all. But I want to talk about this today. We're going to talk about the sweet spot in life, right? Sometimes we talk about when things, we usually talk about when things don't really go right? And we talk about how to overcome those type of obstacles in our life, especially when we're dealing with mental health awareness. We're talking about, man, I'm going through something. How do I overcome? But what we usually don't talk about is when things in life are actually going well, right? When things are going well, and how you can not just maintain it, but strive and build on those things. And one of those things that we wanted to discuss is the concept of travel therapy. So the ladies went on vacation. So I want to, as much as they want to tell us about their vacation. So I'm going to start with you, Giovanni. How was the vacation? What were the highlights? I think I got your photo and up here. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, this is, ladies and gentlemen, this is Giovanni living her best life. Giovanni, where did you go again? If you don't mind the people, you was on an island. Are we just gonna say an island?
Yep, DR, Dominican Republic.
Hey, lit.
6 hours from Florida, hour 45 minutes from Puerto Rico. It separates the Atlantic Ocean from the Caribbean Sea. So we were able to see like the big difference between see-through, beautiful Caribbean water versus what we see on a normal basis in the Atlantic Ocean. So I think that was my favorite part when we went sailing on a yacht. So yes, hey DR in the house. Okay, awesome.
You was on a yacht?
Yeah.
No, I sound like a slave right there. You was on the yacht.
There you go. But
Yo,
yeah,
okay,
man,
so here's the thing.
We had a great time. Definitely had time to just chill out and not have to worry about Noble. Not only that, but I wasn't really focused too much on my career or being perfect or showing up for people. I was just chilling. I'm gonna sleep however long I want to sleep, wake up when I want to wake up, not feel bad about it. Barely was on social media because the service wasn't that good. And so we just really chilled out, got to have conversations with different people, different cultures, met a lot of Haitians, talked a lot of that Creole. It was great.
Well,
Sounds good.
I wanted to ask you about I wouldn't say why, because we kind of know why, but I think for you personally, what is how often do you go on vacation, and why is travel? I would say this: why is travel therapy? What is the concept of travel therapy, and why is that important to you, Jemani?
Well, how often do I go on vacation? That
Mhm.
varies, but this year and after this vacation, I told myself that I need to go on vacation more. Like it's a must. Not because I need to relax more, but because I want that opportunity to be able to understand other people and their point of views, why they believe this, what their beliefs are, why they have a certain culture this way, or what's their religion, you know. So that's one of the main reasons why I feel like it's important to travel, because you experience more and you're able to actually understand geography. You're able to actually understand history and different, just different lifestyles. Now, when it comes to the whole vacation therapy part, you did ask me that was question number 2, like the whole
Correct. Yeah.
therapy. So it is important, and that was a new term for me. You was the first person who I ever heard say vacation therapy. And so at first, the vacation therapy thing, I was like, is he talking about a travel therapist? Because that's a real thing too.
Yeah.
But what we're talking about on the Soapboxx is having to get away and to be able to relax and enjoy yourself. So my vacation therapy was in the room, in the bed, or chilling at the poolside. And this time, I thought I was gonna be reading and stuff while I was on a plane, but I was knocked out. I was like, Bumpy, I'm closing this book. I'm going to sleep. Sarah Jakes, I'm gonna read you when I get back to Tallahassee. So, but I
were you in the was it the hotel room, or you would sleep on the hammock outside?
The hotel room. It just felt better. It was hot in the Dominican Republic, but the weather, but everything, it was beautiful. Now, by the poolside, I didn't sleep by the poolside, but I did kind of nod off when we were at the beach. And we just kind of had blankets, and we was in a cabana. We was just chilling. So
you were. It was a group trip, right? You went with your friends, and y'all was
I did not. I went with me and my boyfriend.
It was
a vacation.
Oh, is it? You know what that means, y'all? It was a vacation. We know what that means, baby alert! We are officially on baby alert. No, get ready. Get ready. TD Jake say, get ready.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Lord have mercy.
No,
but that's good. That's good. I think more couples should do that. I think that's healthy for even the couple to change your environment.
Yep, it's needed. And you just, you're able to speak that real when you're on vacation, because you listen, we ain't just over here just because. We on this vacation together. Unless y'all just in the first time dating stage, then whatever, you do what you do. But I'm talking about long-term relationships where you've been together for over a year and you start traveling out of the country. Usually you're gonna have at least one serious conversation while on that vacation. And it's necessary, especially when you have kids, because you want to, readdress certain things like, hey, where your mind at? How you think, what's the future going to be looking like? And you don't want to get too deep because you don't want to ruin the vacation.
Oh, okay. So you got to, it's got to be.
You want to keep it on a surface level, but it's a great opportunity to have that conversation, because you can slide in there like, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, like how we're living right now, type of vibe.
Damn, I gotta get a wedding alert thing icon. I can't use it. I gotta get a wedding alert one. You said what?
I need to stop handing out all this relationship advice for free.
Oh
no,
we are grateful. Go ahead, Alan.
So with that in mind, I have a question. So do you reserve conversations? Do you reserve conversations for the vacation prior to booking the vacation? Or is it like you book the vacation and then it's like, I'm gonna drop something on them when we get there? Like, what comes first, chicken or the egg in that instance?
You book the vacation. You get drunk, and then y'all talk about whatever you feeling.
No, but what I'm saying, like,
listen, I'm so sick of just saying giving the worst fucking advice. Get drunk and then have serious conversation. What kind of shit is
but
that?
what I'm saying is, like, when is that plan though? Like, when does that plan?
You don't plan it. It's just like
Okay.
you guys are enjoying your time. You're like in a really good space, and it's like this is the perfect time to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I get what Giovanni's saying because like you don't want to ruin the vibe. But like when everything is all good, it's like why not just talk about it now that we're feeling good and we're both connecting? Let's just talk about it.
Yeah. And then another thing, Alan. A lot of times we will save the conversation because we don't want the trip to be canceled.
But it could.
I ain't go.
So what you're saying that could be a relationship breaking conversation.
If it is a relationship breaking conversation, number one, at least you in like a different country, you living your best life.
At least you in another country saying it.
Period. And number two, if it's a relationship breaker, then okay, that we just not meant to be together. Because if I'm expressing myself to you and I'm telling you how I feel, and it's a relationship breaker, okay, then we're not supposed to be together. I'm not gonna express myself to you no more.
No, because she mentioned that she didn't want to bring it up before because mess around in the vacation get canceled, not happen. So that is definitely interesting. I never thought of it like that. I wonder if there's like,
you know what, Tyler Robinson, he got the whole. That's it. Yacht life equals the talk, and it better lead to the ring. It's a whole vibe. Like it's a whole vibe you pick up. You'll see it. You'll get it.
Yeah. That's levels because I've heard of couples taking trips. And then the gentleman will propose, but the step before that being the couple taking a trip to talk about the eventual proposal is another level that I never really considered before. So that's real good insight.
That's dope. I think it's dope that people like I think vacations kind of reset everything. Like it's the recharge and the reset. And I think that's part. I mean, I never thought about it from the woman's perspective of like the conversations that y'all have, like where it's like, yo, he can't go nowhere because y'all in the same room. Like, is it like, but all right, and we'll move on.
That's exactly it, TJ.
Is it more of like a night? Is it a night 3 conversation?
No, it's kind of just like when you're on vacation at some point, especially when you are far away, and I'm not talking about in another state. I'm talking about literally somewhere else, another island. Maybe if you're going to maybe like New Mexico or California. Well, California may not be far for Jess, but it's far for us who live in Florida. You know what I'm just saying? Like across.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is that at some point, when you don't have outside noise and surrounding people around you, you start to think like, if I were to spend my life with this person and it was just me and you, what would that look like? How does that feel like? What type of connection do we really have outside of our child, outside of our responsibilities? When we don't have no plans, nothing to do you really like what I like to do? Because when I travel, I want to go on excursions. Or, what do you really like to do when you travel? So you just learn more about each other that you wouldn't learn in the household or that you wouldn't learn in the States. So,
all right. So, and I guess like you said, this is kind of reserved for someone that you've been with for a while, because I guess my initial thought was, well, is that the right setting or place to have that conversation? Just assuming that the vacation itself is generally the peak of a couple's fun, and like maybe just being on vacation may cloud the judgment because everything's good on vacation. But at the same time,
it could cloud the judgment. It could cloud the judgment, but it also depends on what the result that you are okay with getting after the conversation. So if you are expecting, like, if this Negro don't agree with what I'm saying, I'm gonna pack my stuff up and I'm catching a flight back, then that might be what might end up happening. But if you go in there with, I'm not only talking to you, but I'm listening to you, and you're actually trying to listen, which a lot of us don't do, I think it'll turn out differently. And I don't think that you should think about it negatively, like, oh, this could ruin our trip. I think people really need to embrace the fact of, like, if this person loves me and I love them, and I'm not talking about an argument. I'm not talking about why you slept with X, Y, and Z type stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that type of conversation. I'm talking about like, we could really elevate together if you understand me. Like, do you see me because I see you? You know, type of conversations. But anyways, because I don't want to get too deep, but like I'm just saying is
Yo, we was just gonna let you shoot. I was like, man, Giovanni refreshed. Welcome to the Just Giovanni. I was like, no, I'm letting you rock. Like, I love it. I love it. You know what, Giovanni, from a guy's perspective, I think guys, we think about, yeah, we can take you out on dates. Yeah, we can take you and we could do events and we can all hang out together. But really, I think when there's nothing going on and we're just kind of like in our solitude and it's just you and I on like a Saturday and we got nothing to do, like, and we're just hanging out, can we actually vibe? And I think the more men see that you can vibe with this person, where this person is not just boyfriend, girlfriend, but this is an actual partner, I think men are more apt to say, you know what? I think I would want more of a longer commitment with this, with this individual or my significant other. So I do agree with a lot of the sentiments and things that you said. Just say, what's going on with your Jesse was also on vacation in Orlando, Florida, living her best life. And everybody, if you follow her, she gives all the selfies, all of them.
Yes.
I love it.
Like, first of all, I just want to say something to what Giovanni said. Like, going on vacation and having those talks, it can literally make or break a relationship. Because, like, if your partner is genuinely not on the same page as you and you have that conversation with them, that could be the end of it. But if, you know, like, you guys are vibing and it's good and, you know, they're on the same page as you and you express your feelings, it can make y'all stronger. I just wanted to say that because, you know, I didn't want to cut y'all off because I be doing that all the time. Yeah, and this is the second anniversary. I'm showing you guys I'm learning from my mistakes.
What? What mistakes? What mistake?
Wait,
I missed that.
I feel like I'm always cutting people off because I always want to get my point across because I got not short-term memory, but I have like a brain where like I forget stuff like that, you know.
So
I'm the same way. I thought I was the one, but you the one? Okay.
So that being said, Jesse, was there any sort of life and or relationship revealings during your vacation, or was this the complete 180 of that?
Oh no, my vacation, I definitely said some stuff. Trust me. I definitely did. And like, you know, like he was receptive to what I had to say, but it comes down to action for me. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Wow. So I didn't know.
All the fellas listening, Alan, for all the fellas listening to this episode who are definitely afraid of now the girls talking about, let's go on a vacation. They're like, yeah, oh, this is a setup, money.
Not at all. It was not
it's a trap. Not even
that, because this is the thing, right? When you're home, there's so, like, especially if you have kids, there's so much stress with like work and like the kids and like outside life. But when you go on vacation, it's kind of like a getaway from like all of that. So your vibe is like different. You're more relaxed. You're more like happier. Not that you're not happy like with your kids, but you know, it's just a different type of vibe. So like when you and your partner are feeling like the same type of vibe, it's like, all right, I'm gonna express this to you. And if you really love me, you're gonna take it in a good way. And if you don't, then you're just gonna show me what it really is. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, for me, it's all about action. Like you can say whatever you have to say with words, I won't believe it. But if you back it up with action, that's the different story.
I feel you.
Yeah. This is like, you know, this is like when parents get divorced and they take kids out to McDonald's or take them to their favorite restaurant. Be like, Listen, I know we're at Chuck E. Cheese, but mommy and daddy have something to tell you. It's the same principle. Like, damn, like we just on the jet skis now. Now I got shit to do. I got a list. And so, but I mean, you're right. If people are receptive to their significant other and their wishes, their desires, or something is wrong, I think a vacation. I mean, why wouldn't a vacation be the place to kind of retool and kind of you know? I never thought, but you know what? As a guy, I never thought of it like that. I thought vacation was like a break from the monotony, not like, hey, let's kind of get, you know, put pen to pad. Let's like figure out some of the kinks where we're at so we have a better life moving forward. So that's interesting that y'all brought that up. Just say, but you went to a show. You went to see Andrew Schultz. How was that?
He honestly, okay, let me tell you the truth. When my cousin had showed me a clip and like I watched it on YouTube, I was like, oh, okay, I guess. Okay. But when you go like in person, he's actually funny. Like there was tears. I had tears. And for me, it takes, like, I laugh at a lot of things, but for me to find something truly funny where there's tears coming down my eyes, he was a funny dude. So definitely shout out to him. And I would also like to say on this trip, I got to ride in a Tesla for the first time and I felt that G-force and oh my God. But what I will also say, I would never own a Tesla, never, unless there's like a charging station at my house. Because like having to go, especially in Florida, if you're from Florida, then you know you gotta drive everywhere. So imagine having a Tesla and the freaking charging station is like 30 miles away and you only have 29 miles in your freaking car. Okay.
Am I ignorant because I don't know what a Tesla is? Because I'm not a car person. What is a Tesla?
It is an electronic vehicle. It is like Elon Musk's baby.
It's Elon Musk's car.
Yeah, that's
what. Oh, it's an electronic one?
Yeah.
But it's like semi-luxury.
Oh, it's a luxury. Okay.
When that G-force hits, you feel like you're on a freaking roller coaster. That shit feels amazing.
They're trying to send Teslas to the moon.
Mm-hmm. What? I did not know that.
The Bezos guy from Amazon is trying to go to space too. I'm like, what they know that we don't know?
They know something.
Trying to go to space.
Oh, they know stuff.
They know something.
What?
Yeah. So that space ain't my dream destination, but is you know whenever they start moving, I'm like, But Jesse you were accompanied by the pride and joy. So guys, please, the cuteness.
100 top hospitals by IBM Watson Health. Orlando.
That was the baby, right?
Yes, that was his first time in water, and he fell asleep right in it. So yes, boy.
That's and then I had this clip where we had this clip. What was this clip?
So I guess I gotta go home now.
You was turning up, and someone told you gotta bring your ass home. Take your ass home.
So funny story, right? So so we went to the improv show, which was freaking amazing. And then like afterwards, they were like, "Oh, let's go to Old Town." And I was like, "Yes, let's go to Old Town." But I was already drinking, right? So I was like a little drunk. So like when we had gotten there, they wanted to go like on the swing rides and all the crazy rides, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that because I'm not trying to throw up. But you guys have fun with that." So they went on their rides, and I was just like vibing. I got some food, whatever, while they were on their rides. And then we did karaoke, which I forgot to send you the video. I did it by myself. I did a Cardi B song, and then we went to like different bars that were like in Old Town. And like, when you're drinking and you're having fun, like you don't want to go home. Like you want to dance and you want to have fun and you just want to vibe. But the person that we were with, he was on house arrest. So we had to be home by 9 o'clock. So it was like a freaking, it was like a movie because like we had to like rush home. But then so when I made that video where I was like, oh, I guess I gotta go home now. Like I didn't know that he was on house arrest. And they're like, yes, we gotta go. Like he's on house arrest. You gotta be home by 9. I was like, okay, my bad. All right, let's go. But it was like super cool. Like it was like I felt like I was in a movie because like we were rushing to get home. They're like, don't worry, he's gonna make it. He's gonna make it, and he did make it. But it was a vibe. It was so much fun.
That's funny, yo. So, Bad Tie from the Multiverse podcast. He has a good point. I'm gonna kind of condense it, and I think it's a question posed to the ladies. Where a man takes you on vacation, does that what does that give you? Does that make a statement to you as in a relationship? Like if he's like, is there a difference between, hey, let's go on vacation to Atlanta, or let's go to vacation to a Caribbean island? Is there a difference in vacation spots?
Are you paying for it? Because if you're paying for it, then no. Like we gonna vibe out. It don't matter. Period. You could take me wherever. Like you trying to go to Atlanta with me when you can go by yourself, single. Okay, you want to go with me? All right, let's go together. That's cool. But I mean, for me, it's like I want to go somewhere tropical. But if you want to take me anywhere, you want me there, then I'm good with it. Like I'm happy because you want me there. You want me in your presence.
What about you, Jay?
Yep, I agree. And if you taking a chick to Atlanta, that means you really hey,
You want her there.
Giovanni's like, look, Giovanni's like, hey, I wouldn't do it, but what the hell?
No, what do you mean? No, that means you're not trying to be a hoe. That means you want your girl there. When you go to Atlanta by yourself,
wait a minute.
You're trying to be a hoe.
Hold on. Hold the phone.
Miami by yourself. You're trying to be a hoe.
If a guy is, but this is in a relationship. So if a guy is talking to someone, right? And he decides, hey, you know what? I'm going to go in a couple months to Vegas with the fellas. Does that mean?
Oh.
Huh?
That means he's a hoe.
Why does that make him a hoe? Because he wants to go to Vegas.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Like, you're not about to fool me. I'm not boo-boo to fool. If you're trying to go to any of these spots without your girl, you a hoe. Simple.
Oh. Alan, do you agree with this stance of like there's certain geographical places that men can't go that makes them automatically we're thoughts and hoes over here?
No, because she just said it. It was a pretty wide net that she cast. She's like, trying to go anywhere without your girl, you're a hoe. Like, damn, anywhere is kind of broad.
That might be true because when I was in DR, they was just saying when it comes to traveling, there's like American women let their men travel. But Dominican women, wherever you going, we going. Wherever they going, we going. They was like, they don't be playing that over there.
Ain't nothing going on in Vegas but some Bible study. Ain't nothing going on in Vegas but some Bible study. That's it. All right. So it's just preaching the gospel over him. I don't know, man. Like you want to have fun with your lady, but you got to have space. Like, even with girls trips, y'all can go do y'all trip, go on a trip with your homegirl.
Another thing, going back to that question.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say a dude travels often, but he never takes you anywhere. Then yes, at that point, it does matter about the destination. If you are in Dubai and you going to, Mexico with your homies, Vegas, Atlanta, California, all these places where you got to spend bukus of money. You talking about you always in a casino doing all that type of stuff. And then you tell me you want to take me to St. Petersburg. Well, not St. Petersburg because that is almost the strippers' capital. But if you say you want to take me to St. Augustine, Ponce de Leon.
Beautiful lighthouses.
Or you want to take me to Alabama. We can talk about civil rights stuff. I might have an issue. Like, well, why we not going to Costa Rica?
Yeah.
Why we not going to Miami for Memorial Weekend?
So if he don't take you to Dubai, goodbye. Is that what it is?
Oh, it's definitely over.
My goodness, I don't know, man. I think that's a little excessive. That's rough to be like a dude gotta take you to a certain spot. Like, you know what I realized, fellas, who are listening to this podcast?
I said if he does a lot of traveling, but when it's time for him to, and let's just say he didn't suggest that you travel, but you asked him, like, babe, I really want to go on a trip because I never did it before. And so he like, cool. We're going to take you to, like I said, Alabama, which is great because honestly, I want to go to Alabama. No, Alabama is great. I'm just saying that y'all know what I'm saying. That's just like you eating steak, mashed potatoes, and green beans every night, and your dude eating a grilled cheese sandwich. I'm just saying when you want steak, I want steak too. So don't be trying to give me a grilled cheese sandwich and you over there eating a steak.
You know what y'all proving to me? You know what y'all proving to me, fellas who listen to this podcast? Women keep score. I don't think guys keep score like how women keep score. Y'all keep track of everything.
I don't think guys do either, but we do.
Women, and I'm glad y'all admit it because most women won't admit that. Like women keep score when they, where you going? Okay, you went to that restaurant with your homeboys. Okay, so if y'all don't want less of it, it got to be equal or it got to be more.
TJ, you keep score too. I know you do.
I am out here in these Jumanji streets in the jungle. Okay, right? You see the shirt? I'm out here in the jungle, so I can't put no claim on nobody to keep no score.
I know they will not keep score, but if you were dating a female and you noticed that she had time to do more things for herself than she did with you, or she does more, you suggest like, hey, let's go read a book at the park, and she's like blowing you off because instead she always want to go to the club, I'm pretty sure you'll be like, okay, this not really working because,
I mean, I do that because it's like, if you're not going to treat me a certain way, then I'm just going to go and find, I try not to, for me in relation, I try not to let things pile up. I used to do that shit.
Okay.
And then it'd be like, oh, so when I see something, it's like that, see something, say something. I don't let things like, in relationships, you will, be like, oh, okay, I see you did this. And like, I don't have like a list of things. Like when I see things that bother me, like because of how I am and how I'm wired, I have to be like, look, not everything, but when things are really bothering me, I gotta say, hey, this is what's up. What are we doing with this situation? What's the deal with that? But I always have this. There are certain things that you shouldn't have to, bring up. And I think I would feel odd, not saying that y'all are begging people to take up, but like as a guy, I would feel odd to be like, yo, you ain't hanging out with me or doing this with me, but you're doing that with other people or her friends, right? Like I usually say, if you're in a committed relationship, but her priorities are that she's always wants to just go out with her friends, go to the club, and she needs that kind of validation from other people, other guys, or for them to be flirtatious with her, well, then you don't really want to be. That's what I consider being in a relationship, but you're available. Go ahead, Justin.
This is my thing. I feel like put the light on. Thank you.
Ooh.
I feel like
ambiance.
I feel like it comes down to balance. Like I think it's perfectly fine for like people to do things solo, right? But if you're going on so many guys trips and you're not bringing your girl to any, or you're bringing her like once in a while, like that's stupid because that's your partner. Like you should want to do things with her. Like you should take her places. But if you want to do things all by yourself, that's a red flag. Like that's sus. Like you should want to do things with your partner. So for me, it comes down to balance. Like I think it's healthy to have a boys trip. I think it's healthy to have a girls trip, especially if you guys trust each other. But if you want to just have boys trips all the time, and you never want to bring your girl, that's a red flag. You're lame and you're gay. Nothing wrong with gay people. Nothing wrong with gay people. Listen, it's just like accept who you are.
End point.
Alan, please jump in.
Edit point. So, all right. So,
like, why wouldn't you want to bring your girl? Like, why?
I have a question though.
That's weird.
Let's say I, right, or your significant other, he brings you to DR. Cool. Y'all have a great time in DR. Wonderful. Y'all come back, and then 2 months later, he was like, "Yo, babe, I had a real dope time in DR. The homies ain't been, so we're gonna go in a couple of months too. We're gonna have a little guys trip, and they go back to DR, right? So you've been on a trip, and then he's been on a trip with his guys. How do you ladies feel about that? Is that the balance? Is that good balance, or is there something wrong with that?
For me personally, that's fine, but don't get mad when I want to do the same thing with my girls. Because guys, y'all can't handle it when it's on the other side. When it's on the other hand, you guys can't handle it. Yeah, sure, do you. but don't get mad when I do me. I want to do the same thing with my girl. Are you gonna be okay with it? Because if you're okay with it, then cool. But if you're not okay with it, then
as long as you don't travel with your slutty friend, we're good. We're cool. Like the one who's
Whoa,
always promiscuous.
whoa.
my guys don't have hoe friends. Okay.
I don't. I don't.
I'm
Look at
gonna
Alan.
go
Alan.
Usually 3
Look at
out of 5.
Alan's my friend. Is Alan a
3
hoe?
out of 5.
What were you saying, Giovanni?
3 out of 5, unless they're. I was just about to say unless they're like pastors, but they probably know.
I would take Alan. I would take Alan on a trip. Alan is not my hoe friend.
Alan, I am not. Okay, but my thing is, why is the rebuttal to that balance is why is the rebuttal always okay? Now I'm gonna do it. Why can't it be it's not a problem? It's if you're gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. Because at that point, I feel like it's a tit for tat.
No, it's not a tit for tat at all. My thing is this. I feel like guys feel like, all right, I can do whatever I want, right? They feel like they can do whatever they want. But once it comes to the girls doing it, it's an issue. Like, you can have a guy's trip, but I can't have a girl's trip. Because if I have a girl's trip, I'm being a hoe. If I have a girl's trip, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But it's okay for you to do it. It's not about tit for tat. It's about balance, Alan. So if you can do it, I can do it too. That's what it comes down to.
And that's very healthy.
I don't believe in any fences. So if people gonna do what they want to do anyway, regardless if you're male, the man in a relationship or a woman in a relationship. So the more like of these, you just got to know what you can handle, right? So if you gonna go on a trip and you gonna thought it out with your homegirls or whatever, and then I find out about it, then that's up for me to make a decision as to how I want to move the relationship forward, and vice versa. But I'm not gonna sit here and be like that power and control where it's like, you ain't gonna go on this trip. Like dudes who do that, like, yeah, I can see that's a bit excessive. Where it's like you just want to keep your girl or your lady that's not a partner. You just want to keep her at home, enclosed where you can only have access to her because you're afraid. And that breeds a little insecurity to me, where you just don't want your lady to be out on a trip, or even your man. Like you should be loyal to your partner more in their absence than in their presence.
Period.
So TJ, what you're saying is, it doesn't matter what friends she's bringing on the girl trip with.
No, that's not true. That's not true. And I'll tell you why. We got
some parameters now.
No, I'm telling you why it matters who they go on. Because listen, you can have the most loyal girlfriend, right? You could have the most loyal partner, but the girl she's with is out here being out here mingling and making friends, right?
Alligator.
You see what I'm saying? So when she tries to make friends and mingle, especially if it's an all girls trip, what is she going to do? She's then going to bring what? Other guys around. And those other guys around may not know about your significant other's boundaries. And it becomes a more of a safety type of situation than what she's going to do. Because you could be like, nah, I'm cool. I'm just watching with my homegirl, whatever, whoop, whoop, whoop. And you may be the designated driver, not drinking all other stuff. But the dudes the energy she's putting out there can also affect your significant other. And you don't want her to be in that type of environment. At least that's how I say.
So what do you say prior to the trip when your significant other says, okay, I'm traveling with this young lady? What is your reaction?
Count the cost. I always do a risk cost analysis. Count the cost. You already know her get down. Because listen, if you tell her,
I'm asking you, what are you saying to your significant other?
I said exactly what I would say. Count the cost. I tell them that. Count the cost. Because 9 times out of 10, women know who their friends are and they know how their friends get down. Right?
And men do too.
We are talking. Jess, you were doing so well without the interrupt. You were doing so well. And then you relapsed. It's okay. We'll get back there. But we're talking about men right now. So men, right? Women know who their friends are. Right? They know, okay, this girl, when she gets drunk, she gets a little bit extra flirtatious. Okay, or she, or whatever situation. So they know, right?
Okay, and a guy, it could be roles reversed, And the guy can be like, oh yeah, when he gets a little drunk, he just wants to get his nut off. So if he meets, if I bring a girl and her friend, then hey, you know,
But it's
you
different.
don't do that, TJ. It goes both ways. It goes both ways.
We can't negate the fact that for a guy, and it comes to a safety issue, a guy by himself who's trying to hook up with a girl is different than a girl being left alone because she's out here trying to hook up with some other random dude. Like, we're not going to act like that's not a thing. Like, if your homegirl has habitually, when she gets drunk, whatever, she wants to chill with these dudes or whatever, and she likes to duck off and go off with these dudes, and then your girl is just left there with what? The dude's homeboys that you don't even know? Like, that's a problem. But vice versa, if a guy sees a girl and he's like, yo, I'm gonna go chill with them or whatever, I'm not gonna worry about Alan getting jumped by three girls or whatever. I'm like, yo, all right, homie, do what you gotta do. We'll reconvene at brunch at 10 a.m. Go do your thing. I'm not gonna hold his hand. You see what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be like, yo, Alan, you sure? Where's your whistle? You sure? Like make sure you're okay. Like, I'm not gonna do that.
That's crazy.
Well, yeah, but we also can't make it seem like it's not.
Girls are predators too.
Girls
can be predators.
They will throw themselves at you too.
Yes. So. Come on, you don't watch Law and Order? Women can be predators too.
They may try to slip you to Mickey, you know?
It's both ways. It works both ways. Don't do that, TJ. Come on.
It's funny you said that because I actually went to a restaurant the other day and I could have sworn that the waitress tried to roofie me because I had a drink, and then I immediately felt really sleepy afterwards. I was at Bahama Breeze, and that Long Island was so strong. I was in the car like I kid you not, I had to take a nap. I was like sitting there like that.
Nah.
So I didn't have one. I had a quarter of one, and it knocked me out.
Oh, probably then, yeah.
It knocked me out. I was like, man, I know I'm, attractive, but damn, you ain't gotta. All you gotta do is talk to me. You ain't gotta put none in my drink for me to just. I really was asleep. I was. But listen, hey, I want us to talk about, because we want to, we talked about vacation and the do's and don'ts for relationships and couples. I have always been the type of person that said I kind of held off on doing more of the international traveling because that's something I've always wanted to do with a partner, like the whole vacation thing. Like, I get that. So I do a lot of staycations and I do a lot of like events. Like if there's like WrestleMania or if there's something going on in a different state, I'll go out there. Like when I went to the Royal Rumble or different things like guy stuff, I'll do stuff like that. But the more like traveling, I've always thought about doing it with someone. So you're actually creating memories with that person. So I wanted to get into some of your dream destinations. And one of the destinations that we have, which is my actual, whenever I get married, I want to have my honeymoon there is the Maldives. Is it Maldives or Maldives? Maldives?
Same.
All right. So for those who are watching, sorry for our listening audience, but for those who just want to show a quick clip so that you guys know exactly what we're talking about this beautiful island. Yo, so shout out to that beautiful island in the Polynesian islands, the Maldives. I first found out about this island. I don't know if you guys ever seen that movie Couples Retreat. Have you guys seen that with Vince Vaughn?
I have. Yep, I've seen it.
So yeah.
Yes. So they shot that movie at the Maldives. Maldives or Maldives? Am I saying it right?
Maldives.
Okay, Maldives.
I say both.
We sound so uncultured. What is it? Yeah, so that was the first time I see it. I've never seen water so blue. The best looking water I've seen thus far in my life has probably been Daytona. So I haven't really been too many doing it. I just got my passport like last year, so I haven't done that much traveling at all.
Clearwater.
So I don't like beaches with like rocks and stuff in the sand. Like I just like straight white sand. And I don't like seaweed either. I don't want no seaweed touching my leg. Yeah, I don't do that. I'm very bougie when it comes to the type of interactions.
You have to come to Destin, Panama City.
I've never been there.
Destin, Florida, Panama City, Florida. Those like top beaches. Key West, Florida.
Yeah, I definitely haven't been to those spots. But this spot, I always tell, I think it's like almost like it's pretty expensive. Last time I looked about how expensive the Maldives are, but everything is inclusive over there. But it's more, they don't have like the resort in the movie. They really don't have any like TVs at these resorts. So it's really back to what you were talking about, Giovanni, where you have to stay enclosed with your significant other, have those talks and really share each other's company. So you got a lot of, it's a romantic vacation spot. Jesse, this was one on your list too, right?
It definitely was.
What drew you to this as a dream vacation spot?
Just the scenery, like the way it looks. I heard that even like when you get there, you have to go to a boat to get to like a certain spot. That's the only part that I'm like iffy about. But it's just the way it looks. It's just beautiful, and it's really good for pictures.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Oh, I forgot to play this video. Yo, this is what I look like on vacation.
Hey,
that's all y'all get. There's too much sexy on the show.
Wait, let me show it again.
What?
Huh?
What is this?
Give the people what they want. That was me at Daytona. That was me and.
You're at Daytona?
Yeah, that was Daytona.
I went to Daytona while I was in Florida.
Word.
But I got there late.
You said
they
what?
Closed. I got there late. They actually closed after a certain time.
Oh, they do. So I went last year, when we talking about Daytona real quick, I actually went last year during the pandemic where there was really nobody there. So it was just me and the fam, and everybody was like really spread apart. There was nobody at the hotels really. Hotels were cheap. It was actually really great. The rooms were extra clean because this was during the height before Florida, because Florida cared about the pandemic for about like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
so
right.
So this is when they were like really like scrubbing and cleaning everything. So it actually worked out well for us. And they were like, the less people that were there, they were really appreciative of the people who were spending money in Daytona because all the tourists were gone. I know another spot we had, Alan, you talked about wanting to be, wait, hold on. Oh, before we get to that one, both Alan and Jesse, and I think actually all three of my co-hosts had Cape Verde on their list as a dream destination. And I got a brief clip I'm going to play. Jesse's excitement is just unbearable right now. It's just shining through. All right, so here's Cape Verde. All right. I didn't know that was in the damn thing. It got a little girl twerking in the shit in the video. Look at the land of the, as y'all can see, the land of the Jesse's. Jesse, tell us a little bit about Cape Verde, and Alan and Giovanni, tell us why that's on y'all dream destination vacation.
Look, I haven't been to Cape Verde since I was 3 years old, and I am really looking forward to going as an adult because, I'm a Cape Verdean woman. And from what I have been told, the beaches are paradise. Okay, the whole environment, and you know, like not for nothing, but the Chinese people are actually trying to take over it. So if you go there, you will see some Chinese people there. And because like Cape Verde is, it's that place. Like a lot of people don't know about it. That's the thing. It's very small. And if you go to like different places, like I grew up in New York, and like I used to tell people I was Cape Verdean, and they would be like, what's that? To the point that I used to lie and say I was like Dominican and Puerto Rican because everybody thought that's what I was. And I thought my parents just made up Cape Verde. I thought it was like a make-believe island, like a fairy tale.
You thought it was
then I was
Wakanda?
just like, yes, I was just like, oh, maybe people are like, you know, telling me the truth. Maybe Cape Verde is just a fake place. But no, Cape Verde is very real. It's a small country. And I'm actually looking forward to it because I'm going to be going next year. So trust me.
I have a question. So Cape Verde is off the coast of Africa, but Cape Verdeans don't consider themselves African American?
Listen, this is a whole like this is a whole debate. It's very controversial, so it's like hard for me to talk about it because we were colonized by the Portuguese. So like a lot of older people, their mentality is like we're Portuguese because they're still living in that like, oh, we were colonized by the Portuguese. It's like Christopher Columbus, right? He came out here and he took over, and everybody's like, we're Americans. Whatever people say.
Okay.
So it's like the same thing in Cape Verde. We were colonized by the Portuguese, but we're African. We're located on the west coast of Africa. So a lot of people will identify with being African and Black, but a lot of other people, especially like older people, they'll identify with being Portuguese. So we consist of like 10 different islands. I think there's one of them that like nobody lives on, but everywhere else like they live on the islands. But it's very controversial when you talk about that because it's so funny. Because like if like me growing up, like if I would be like, oh, I'm Black or I'm African, like a lot of people are like, no, you're not. You're Portuguese, you know? And I struggled for a while with like identity crisis because I never knew like what I really was. And that's why I said like when I was living in New York, I used to tell people that I was Puerto Rican or Dominican because that's how people identified me. And I didn't really have like a lot of knowledge of like what it really was as far as being Cape Verdean. But like as I grew up, like I started to learn more and more, and I identify myself as being African. I'm Cape Verdean, but like I said, a lot of people view it differently.
Yeah, well, Alan identifies as Dominican sometimes. So Alan, Alan. Alan's like, I grew up in Kissimmee, so I get a pass. Alan, why did you pick Cape Verde as one of your dream destinations?
Oh man, well,
Alan,
what happened?
Tell the truth, okay? Just tell the truth.
Why would I lie? So no, I mean, outside of course, obviously the aesthetics is gorgeous. You know, just kind of a lot of people that I grew up around in Central Florida, they were Cape Verde. And so, prior to me moving to Florida, like I hadn't heard of Cape Verde either. But there's like a decent amount of Cape Verdean people in Point Siena. So like when I graduated high school, I started meeting a lot of them. Like one of my close homies is Cape Verde. And so he always talks about it. And of course, you know, between that and like every woman that I met that's Cape Verdean is like otherworldly looking, which also influences my decision in case I decide to settle down one day. So between that, you know, the homies, the culture, it just seems like a for lack of a better term, like an undiscovered gem. So yeah, you know, it's still African. So
what is your Dominican name, Alan? When they ask you what is your Dominican name in these streets?
My Dominican name is Aliente. You know what I'm saying?
Aliente.
Yeah, Aliente is my Dominican name. You know, for like maybe 2 weekends out of the year, I get into my bag a little bit. So Aliente is my Dominican name, but it's all African. It's all African.
Word. Giovanni, what about you?
Africa is one of my top destinations.
Okay, but specifically Cape Verde. Oh, is you just like you lumping it all together? Like, look, I'm gonna go to Africa, and since Africa's right there, Cape Verde, I'm gonna be.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. But
Y'all got me interested because I'm trying to figure out like the people that made Just Say, and like I got a lot of things I got to say and grievances that I'm gonna bring up while I'm over there.
It basically sounds like Europeans dropped us all off in different locations.
Yep.
Transatlantic slave trade. Absolutely.
Yeah,
yep.
Like that's how it was in the Dominican Republic. Everybody was tu español. You speak Espanol? I'm like, no. They're like, oh, you
Yo habla español un poquito.
Oh my God. So this is what I forgot. In the Dominican Republic, I felt like I was at home.
Really?
I had never been in an environment where so many people looked just like me and loved me for it. When we got to the resort, we were going to this restaurant and the waitress was, checking for the reservations or whatever, seating people. And before we walked in, she said, "Welcome home." And I mean, when that thing, like, we was like, "Ooh." And so when we sat down, I asked my boyfriend, I said, "You felt that?" He was like, "Yeah." Like, he was like, I felt like I belonged here. Like, I really felt like I belonged here. And not only that, it was like she was telling us, like, you belong here, or you could have been here, or they see Americans as the people, your ancestors were on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Our ancestors.
You know what? It's funny you said that because I've heard people when they go to Africa, they feel that way. When they go to Africa and you touch down as an African American, you go to Africa, they say there's a certain energy that you get and you feel. And I've heard people get emotional when they touch down on African soil.
I've heard that too.
Some people break down.
Yep.
So so it's funny that you say that about Dominican Republic because, I mean, privately, the guys, the fellas, I wanted to have a fellas guys trip, and one of the places was Dominican Republic that I wanted to do our guys trip. But every time I looked up stuff, they were talking about, people getting robbed and the violence and all those type of things. So no, you didn't see none of that over there?
Oh, absolutely not. None of it.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure it probably exists. They probably say the same thing about America because surprisingly, our cab driver was telling us that is crime is one of the things that they talk about in America because they feel like the police officers are a part of the crime. And they were saying, you all go to jail for speeding tickets and running the red light. In Dominican Republic, if a cop pull you over for something, all you got to do is pay him.
You got to just pay him?
Not saying, of course, that doesn't lower the crime, the violence.
Oh, okay.
But
a little light extortion.
Like, the police will look the other way, unfortunately.
True.
But
like
y'all going to jail for 30 years and getting beat up for drugs, and it's just like they don't do that over there. Freedom is very important.
No doubt. I know Alan. I don't have a video, Alan. Actually, I do have a video because Alan wanted to. One of his destinations was it not North Korea, South Korea. Which Korea?
South Korea, my brother.
South Korea. Because I was confused because when you said Korea, I was like, I didn't know which one had a dictatorship or whatever. But hey, here's South Korea. A little bit about South Korea. All right, so that was just a little taste. Sorry for our listening audience, but for those who are listening to us on Spotify or any of our streaming services, you can always check out the videos on YouTube or on our Facebook page, Soapboxx Podcast. But yo, Alan, why South Korea, my man?
Well, South Korea is also one of those places that I heard a lot about growing up because one of my close homies, he was like a military kid. So his father was stationed in South Korea. So like every year or every other year, he would just jet and go to Korea for 6 months. And, he would come back and just tell us how dope it is. And also another friend of mine who is actually just in the military as well, always kind of raved how open it is and how cultured it is. So, that's just something that I understand that North Korea is not entirely tourist friendly, but South Korea is supposed to be really, really, open to tourism and they kind of welcome it with open arms and, just going somewhere that's completely a 180 of my culture, I thought would be a little bit interesting. So, something I have considered just because it's so left field. So,
yeah. I don't know the population, but I don't have any desire to go to any place that has a lot of people, like a tons of people. Like some of these places, like I would never go to like India. There's just too many people there for me. Like I have no desire, like as a destination, I don't have any desire to go to a spot like that, or really even China, or maybe that's just my misconception. Like I don't see like anywhere where people are just kind of like on top. And this is before the pandemic. Anytime where people are just on top of each other, like I like my my space. But the way when I saw that video, I was like, yo, it actually looks dope. I'm not really into. I guess would that be considered? That's not considered Chinese food. I'm not into Asian culinary like that as much. Like I don't do sushi. I don't do like egg rolls or any of those type of things. But I think that's one of the things that people go to travel. They travel to taste the food and partake in the culture. And I got a seafood allergy, so I can't even go to New Orleans. I can't even go to New Orleans without looking over my shoulder. Even if I'm like, look, I got an allergy. So
yeah, for South Korea, North Korea, China, Asia. Yes, China. I do want to visit. China only because it's not one of my top destinations, but I'm amazed by the hustle and all of the cheap products and inventory and things that you can get from China that cost us thousands of dollars in America.
True.
So and I'm talking beyond designer, because you can go to China and get the designer from there, factory made, straight out of the factory, for $12.
I know for one of my dream destinations that I want to go to. I've always wanted to go to Italy. Italy is one of my dream destinations. I've always wanted. I've always been a big fan of the mob movies and the Godfather, and I've always been a fan of like Goodfellas. Is one of my, if not my favorite movie of all time. And so Italian culture is very much like family oriented. I love the architecture in Italy, and then they have. Oh, that's not Italy. That's Hawaii. We're doing that next. Oh, there it is. So they have different, some architecture and those. I've always wanted to backpack to Italy for like a month and just kind of just travel and just be there and have a camera and take pictures. But I never wanted to just do those type of things alone. But I think as I'm getting older, I think I'm more apt to say, you know what, let's start doing some more traveling. Because the only place I've been out of the country besides Trinidad when I was a young kid is actually Mexico, right? And I went to Tijuana. But other than that, I really haven't traveled internationally. But I plan on rectifying that, if not late this year, but definitely 2022.
That sounds
definitely
Trinidad.
Definitely 2020, 2022. Well, both of my parents are from Trinidad.
Traveling. A lot of solo traveling. That's on the list for me. Like I want to do more solo traveling. So hopefully before the end of the year, I can choose one place, even if it's, you know, somewhere, I don't know if it's just like Colorado or something. I don't know, but I just want to travel one place, or it could be a staycation to somewhere in Florida.
I still want to go to Atlanta.
Look, I'm not going to disparage Atlanta, but I've been to Atlanta. Alan, I think you were on that trip when we were all when we were in student government together. It just wasn't one of my favorite destinations. I'll just say.
I don't think I made that trip. Actually, I don't think I made that trip.
You wasn't that one? Yo, trip. No,
I've
trip
only
to
made
Atlanta.
Yeah.
See, when I was young, I thought everything was going to be like a Jeezy video. And the best thing about Atlanta was the Gladys Chicken and Waffles. That restaurant is actually as advertised. It actually is really good. But other than that, it was just, you know, they have a huge, at least when I went, and this was 2008. They got a huge homeless population that's there. So like you walking down the street, you're asked every 2 seconds, like, yo, you know, can I, and then, you know, for somebody ain't got it, it's like, man, I should be out here with you. Like, what the hell? So yeah, it was crazy. And lastly, everybody. Oh, and I had this. This was Punta Cana thing to do with.
Punta Cana is lit.
Yes, that's where Giovanni goes, and that's where for years I thought my wife was going to.
Punta Cana. It was lit.
Did you drink Mama Juana while you were out there? Because that's like the only thing that got me. Yes, that's the only thing that got me lit out there. That's it.
Well, you been to DR too?
Wait, so this whole time you didn't know
what? No, I thought you were in DR, but I didn't know what part. But Punta Cana, bro, I had so much fun. My mom got married in Punta Cana, so that's why I went out there. Mama Juana.
Do we know the ingredients?
Yes.
We brought some home.
You can,
I brought home some anejo. I brought home some Dominican tequila that you only can get in Punta Cana.
You're lit. You can make Mama Juana. You can make it.
I brought home some Mama Juana, but I gave it away as souvenirs.
That's okay. That's the only thing that got me lit when I was out there. Everything else was weak to me.
Dominican cigars. So.
Wait, how'd you smuggle? You telling on yourself on this podcast? How you smuggle? You brought cigars and everything?
Oh,
I smuggled
cigars.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's Cuba. Cuba, you can't do that.
Probably not. I don't know.
Honestly, I smuggled back from my Orlando trip. I smuggled back some poppets. Do you guys know what poppets are?
I was so nervous. I didn't know what she was going to say, Alan. I thought she was going to say something.
Poppets.
From Orlando to Boston or to Brockton.
No, I'm smart. Listen. But on the itinerary, it says that you are not allowed to bring any explosives or any fireworks. And on the poppets, it says TNT. You know what I'm saying? But it's really not an explosive or a firework.
Hold on, wait.
So wait, you brought explosives on a plane?
On a plane?
Yes, hold on. I'm gonna show you guys. Wait.
No. See, I can't even get jiggy.
They're gonna scan your face, baby. Don't do it.
Yeah. You see, now you talk about you. See, that's when you start. Devontae get nervous. She's like, "Listen, baby, no."
So a poppet there?
Don't do it.
Yeah, the poppy things.
Yes, like you go like this, and it goes pop. So I guess it's considered an explosive, but I didn't know.
Wait, y'all don't have those where y'all at? That's like
I put it in my check bag.
Oh my god!
Oh, yeah.
Listen, it's a couple things.
Like that, but
it's a couple things that I don't play with.
Allegedly,
air safety is
allegedly brought it.
Okay.
You're muted.
Air safety is not.
I allegedly brought it.
Yes. What were you saying, Alan?
I was saying there's a couple things I don't play with, and airplane safety is definitely on that list.
Yeah, well, when you got someone like Jesse, that's why I want to go to Cape Verde now, because I'm like, look, do y'all know what's over here? Who's representing y'all? Bringing explosives onto planes?
Look, I can't wait to go. I can't wait to see my people. I'm like super excited. I'm gonna perform out there and everything. I'm really excited
Oh,
to go
so
to
you're
Cancun.
going soon.
Yeah, I'm going next year. I haven't been since I was 3 years old. So I'm like, and I was supposed to go last year. I brought my ticket and everything, but then COVID happened. So it kind of messed everything up for me. So I'm super excited to go next year. Like, I'm literally like, I can't wait. I can't wait.
So one of the things, I think, like we talked about, we discussed travel therapy. We discussed, your dream destinations. We also talked about do's and don'ts on vacations when it comes to, relationships. I definitely want to talk about the concept of that sweet spot when it comes to life. And when you talk about finding what you love, what you're passionate about, and your purpose. And I think oftentimes we don't talk enough about when all those things actually align, right? So I wanted to ask you, have you ever had a time in your life where everything kind of aligned in the right direction, where you felt like, man, at this point in time, I have peace, I have purpose, and I'm loving exactly what I'm doing? Is that, or if you haven't, what does that look like to you?
Cool.
Let's start with Alan. Alan, go ahead.
Go ahead, Alan.
I think there's definitely been times where I felt like I was almost there. I think mentally for me that there's always a barrier of if I am in a situation where I do feel somewhat comfortable, I don't allow myself to stay there for too long, and I just kind of create something to make myself uncomfortable. And a lot of times that could be strictly for motivational purposes as well. So I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a bad thing per se, but I kind of don't think I allow myself to sit in the comfort for too long. In regards to what it looks like, I guess for me, it just looks like me just hitting all of my goals for, the main triangle. So like, the mentally, the physically, and then the financially. I don't believe I've hit my peak at any of them as of yet. And maybe the closest I've ever had, I'm not necessarily sure it lasted a long time. So for me, it's like, I think that as of right now, I think I'm in a good situation to where I can focus my next 6 months on reaching those levels. And I do feel like if I focus enough, that is attainable. And I do think that is, for me, somewhat of a sweet spot, knowing that at the moment, I kind of control my destiny to get to where I need to be. So for me, I always say, like, as long as I have the ability to plan and control where I want to go, then for me, that's all I can ask for. Like, there's a lot of things that a lot of obstacles that come people's way that they had absolutely no control over whatsoever. And it's just life bringing them back 3 steps. So, knock on wood, as long as I don't have any of those instances happen, then I feel like I'm on a good path. And that's all for me. Like I said, that's all I really can ask for, is to control my own destiny.
Giovanni, what does your sweet spot in life look like? Where your passion, your purpose, and your... Okay, just say, what does your sweet spot in life look like? Where your passion, your purpose, and love, and what that looks like, when it all connects.
So there's I guess there's multiple ways that I can look at this, because it's like, all right, so like if you look at it from, there's two perspectives, right? Mm-hmm. I see it from where like everything is going wrong, but I know that it's gonna be okay, because I have my faith in God. So I know that he's always gonna make a way for me. Like, I know no matter what I'm struggling with, like, he's always gonna come through. So it's like me not worrying. It's me like, okay, this is what I'm going through right now, but I know that everything's gonna be okay. And then it's also from a different perspective where it's like everything is like good. Like, My social media is popping. My kids are happy. My finances are intact. Like life is just good. Like I'm just happy. Like, you know, my relationship is good with like everybody, my boyfriend, my family, my friends. It's like collectively, like different things, you know? That's my sweet spot. That's my sweet spot. And like I said, it's from two different aspects. It's like, okay, everything is going bad, but I know it's gonna be good. I know it's gonna be good because of my faith in God. But then it's also like everything is good. Everything is what it is. And like I'm chilling.
Giovanni, I'm gonna give you some more time you need more time? Or can I toss to you?
No. So my
Okay.
sweet spot. So sorry, my TV is
Yeah, so Giovanni's about to give us her rendition of what she believes her sweet spot is. Go ahead, Jay.
So my sweet spot would be really being able to like live freely. So I always think that one day I'll end up in another country and that'll be like my final destination outside of America. And I think because growing up, at least how I was raised, I don't feel like I got to create my own identity. And so I feel like once I get through, you know, completing my purpose, passion, and following my goals, helping, you know, to make a certain amount of money, to make sure that my family is straight, I'm getting out of here. And I'm going to go live the life how I want to live life. I'll have assets. I'll have less liabilities, a stable home, you know, whatever it is. And, you know, I'll be able to generate passive income so I don't have to work all of my life.
Yeah.
But really being able to not live the American dream, but to live Giovanni's dream, that's how I feel like that's my sweet spot in life. Like I'm completely good with who I am. I don't care who likes me, who doesn't like me. I love me. I'm good. I'll be weird, original, and on my island chilling out how I want to chill out. So when I get there, when I say when I get there, that really sounds like I feel like a slave.
You just gonna follow the North Star?
To the freedom, man. Like, you know how they say keep walking, keep talking, but yeah, seriously, like I'm gonna keep doing all that type of stuff until I feel like I've reached that sweet spot of freedom, real freedom.
Yeah, I think for me, it's more so because I've had pockets in your life. And I think in life, you have pockets of sweet spots where you're like, man, this is as good as it can get, right? And then things happen. And I think in my relationship, in a spiritual sense with God, is that God is very, he makes sure that whenever I get too complacent, he'll shake some shit up in my life to make me not be like Alan, what you were talking about, not be complacent, because he's got more work for me to actually do. But I think a lot of times when we're in that sweet spot, right? I don't think if you're not used to it, you can feel uncomfortable with peace. And I don't think people talk about that. Like if you're used to being around toxicity, always on the go and always trying to, figure out what's next, you don't really appreciate, I guess, and I'll speak for myself, you don't really get to appreciate the sweet spot in life until you're out of it. And then you're like, damn, I wish I would have appreciated that state of where I was, because now I'm back on the grind trying to recapture that moment. You understand what I'm saying? And so I think the sweet spot for me is like when, physically I'm good, when my family is taken care of, they're safe, they're secure, my mental health is on high, and you're walking in your purpose, right? And so I thought today, for those who are watching us live, having this be recorded on the 2-year anniversary of the Soapbox, like, to me, this is one, like, where I'm at right now in my environment, as far as people, pouring into you in the environment that you're in. Yeah, that to me is a sweet spot. Knowing that you have a support system around you and knowing that you're walking in your purpose. And also it pays to have people in your corner, right? It pays to have people that you know are like that will pour into you and you're not just pouring into them, and people that actually fuck with you the long way and not just fuck with you when you're being successful, right? And so I would definitely implore people to find their sweet spot where and I just want to pull it up again.
And I wanted to say,
go ahead.
I guess what I was describing was my long-term sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
But my short-term sweet spot would be similar to yours, like just being at peace with myself, standing up for myself, and being confident with understanding like everybody won't agree with who I am or me personally. And I feel like once you really embrace that, I mean, you can really soar. Like you can really go to so many different heights in life when you really get to that place of like F everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when it comes to vacation and travel therapy, like you were attesting to and Jesse was attesting to, sometimes getting out of your environment and going and traveling and experiencing other culture. One thing I will say about traveling, you start to realize how the things that bothered you at home don't really matter because you realize how big the world is. Like the things that you kind of like focus on, like especially with me, like doing a lot of activism and all those other things. Like once you get into a space in a different environment, you realize like, well, why did I focus so much on that instead of focusing on being happy, right? And so, your happiness, a lot of times people think their job is their purpose, but like you have your health and your happiness needs to be your top priority in order for you to find, the sweet spot. And what I will say is the sweet spot is your sweet spot. And it's really not indicative of anybody else, right? So you shouldn't need other people to be in that sweet spot, right? But it's always great to have people to have your back. So as you guys know, we have a segment here and it's called Pull Up. We tried it last week. So we do have somebody for Soapboxx there. She was here last week, and I know she definitely wanted to chop it up with Jess. So we have Maya is back pulling up with us on the Soapboxx Podcast. What's going on, Maya?
Hey.
Hey. Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back, Maya. So Maya, real quick, wanted to pull up Maya. Do you have a question, comment, or you wanted to you wanted to pose a question or comment?
No, it was about
we can't hear you.
I was gonna
say talking about your sweet spot.
We all are on our own spiritual journey, and it's hard to do that when you have a lot of people telling you what to do in your life, how to do it, where to go, or what you should and shouldn't do. It's really up to you and who you are. But like I said, a lot of people aren't going to understand that because they're not you. They don't live in your shoes. You should walk your own path. Not everybody is going to understand your path, and they don't have to. As long as you're comfortable with who you are, it's okay to do that. Like I said, finding your own spiritual journey is fine. Like I said, not a lot of other people are going to understand that. As long as you're comfortable, you're in your own peace, you're in your happiness. Forget what everybody else is saying. Let them hate, let them be negative, whatever. But as long as you feel like you're doing the best you can, then you're doing just fine.
You know what?
I agree.
Yeah, I agree as well. My sweet spot is going to be when you realize that I'm your favorite on the podcast and not
Shut
just
up.
That's my sweet spot. Like that's where I'm going to be more comfortable. Like I work hard on this podcast, and for you to just be like, Jesse's my favorite. Like why? What is it about Jesse? Like
because I knew her first. Honestly, I met her.
Oh, okay.
Because I met her first off her Instagram page because I had epilepsy and everything, and she always used to make me laugh with her videos. I'm like, she's mad dope, and I found out she was just like me. I'm like, oh, she's Cape Verdean. No wonder why.
Crohn's. I told you I gotta go to Cape Verde because they just keep making more.
Yes, for real. But I will say, Maya, that I completely agree with you because, like, when you're happy with yourself and you're just content with like everything about your life, it doesn't matter what people say about you. It doesn't matter what people's opinions are about you, because at the end of the day, if you're content with yourself, then that's just what it is. It's just their opinions. Like, that's how you feel. Okay, that's how you feel.
Right.
Are you paying my bills? Are you doing anything to add to my happiness? If you're not, then okay, then just keep your opinion. That's fine, because we're all entitled to that. We're all entitled to feel how we feel, right? But if I'm happy, there's nothing that you can say to me that's gonna bring me down, because I'm happy with myself.
Right.
So I agree with you, Maya.
Maya, we're
Right. Like I said,
definitely. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. What?
No, I was saying we definitely appreciate you pulling up, and I
Yes.
wanted to. Last week you were on this podcast.
I
young
heard.
lady. You were on this podcast, young lady, and Alan and I asked you about relationships, and you said you ain't got no time for that. But we follow you on Instagram.
You said peace out. We ain't talking about no relationship.
Yeah, she's smart. She's smart. She got low.
I'm messing with you. Oh no, she came back. Maya, you there?
She got low.
Ooh. Maya said not today.
Maya, you there? I didn't mean to scare you. I wasn't gonna talk about it, but I said we follow you on Instagram. I saw you. I don't know you was booed up or not. I was like, look, I don't want to get her in trouble.
Oh no, I actually am now. It's just a promise ring because I like crystals, and he gave me this. He's been chasing me for 2 years. This guy said he's been chasing me for 2 years. I said, oh no. I said, but you know what? It's good though to have a feeling like that, because I was like, who really would wait for a girl for 2 years? I said, and not be trying to play my emotions. I said, you can have me.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
And it
came with a ring.
I was just like,
and it came with a ring. Let me tell you, it's not easy to find guys like that, because guys, especially now, they be playing all types of games. So if you find a guy who's trying to be genuine and commit, and you're happy because your happiness is number one, then go with it. And Giovanni can talk more about it because she knows all about the self-love, self-care. So baby girl, please speak on it, girl. Speak on it.
Maya, whenever you need to hear some advice from a man's perspective, you have two guys here that will be able to decipher and translate for you everything that you need to know. But we're happy for you, okay?
Definitely. Thank you.
Yes, 100%, Maya.
Yeah, we're gonna run, but thank you for tuning in.
When he got me this, I was like, oh snap.
Yo, that's a Super Bowl ring. Like a Super Bowl ring.
Hey, she got a whole ring.
Yeah, it is.
That's what's up, Maya. Hey, we will see you. We will definitely see you next week. Thank you for tuning for pulling up on the Soapbox. All right.
Yes, girl. Thank you.
Peace. All right, y'all. So let's hit the whatchamacallit? The moral of the story. What's your moral of the story? Let's start with she's dropped a 40-point game on us coming back from vacation. Giovanni, what's your moral of the story?
Moral of the story is live your best life. Whatever that looks like, live that life. Find out what works for you. And also understand that it is a continuous process, and it may take you longer than it takes other people, but don't give up on your process. Don't give up on your journey.
Yes.
Word. I guess. Jesse, what's your moral of the story? I'm so sick of this one.
My moral of the story is, look, if you're going to go on vacation with your significant other and y'all have some underlying issues that you're scared to talk about while y'all are in the States, like where y'all live, let me tell you something right now. Being on vacation, when y'all are vibing, that's the best time to talk about it. Because he's in a good mood, you're in a good mood, so you know how to address it. Speak on it. Speak on your issues. Tell him how you really feel. Tell her how you really feel. And either they're going to be receptive to the information that you're telling them, or they're not. And if they're not, then peace out. But if they are, then cool. Y'all can figure out a way to make shit better and make shit work. So my moral of the story is speak on it. And I don't know what the name of this episode is, TJ, but it should be speak on it.
It's a sweet
speak
spot.
On how you
Speak
feel.
on it.
All right, sweet spot. But
It's
speak
a
on
sweet
it.
spot.
Speak on. My bad. But what I'm saying is, my moral of the story is speak on it. Speak on how you really feel. Period.
I'm gonna wait till episode 100 to speak on how I really feel about Jesse and her commentary.
Yes, please do. Please do.
I'm just through. Alan, please. What's your moral of the story, my man?
Hey, so my moral of the story today is, be active in finding your sweet spot. Be intentional. Write down your goals. Write down what your next phase is, and also enjoy it. One of my favorite quotes that I have adopted over the last couple of years is, "We are in the good old days," right? Always remember that we are in the good old days, meaning that 5 years from now or even 2 years from now, you're going to want to know where the time went, and you would give anything for that time back. So while you're in the moment, make sure that you do appreciate it so you don't have any regrets. So find your sweet spots, be intentional with it.
And for me, my moral of the story, thank you for that, Alan. My moral of the story is this: like I kid you not, every Thursday is my sweet spot. I love doing what I'm doing when you're surrounded by people that support you, people that you love, people you're walking in your purpose and you're passionate about it. 2 years strong, we are here on the Soapboxx Podcast, and this is something that this is only the beginning, but I'm very, very much appreciative of everybody who's ever been a part of it, shared, liked, commented. Like, this is something, being on this and this platform, which is just a platform for us to create and to showcase not only ourselves, but our views. Like, that is part of it. So Jess, yes, what she, was right when it comes to like speaking out about and living and I think defining the sweet spot is living your truth, no matter what it is. And your truth is not beholden to anybody else around you. So, but if you can surround yourself with good people that can pour into you and have a great environment, then I guarantee that you will find yourself your sweet spot and you'll be able to succeed and to prosper. So with that being said, we appreciate each and every one of us, Soapboxx Nation. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We got last big facts, Aliente, Jess, big energy. Shout out to Jess. Look, we got to stop. This is the thing. I'm gonna take all that stuff back because y'all just compliment my co-host way too much, and I don't like it. Okay, Mike over there. Mike did one episode on the Soapboxx Podcast and got booed up the very next week. So I'm telling y'all need to pull up on this podcast because there's some dust. Okay. There's some dust going around. We got, we are on baby alert. We're on wedding alert. We're on relationship, and we're on new Dominican names and all other stuff alert. Like, we're on all sorts of alert right now. Heading into what we call in the Soapboxx summer, heading fast into episode 100, man. We still got a few more episodes to go to get there. But make sure you follow us on all of the social media platforms. Soapboxx Podcast with 2X. That's Soapboxx Podcast with 2X. But so for Just Giovanni, for Jesse, for Alan York, Homeless Millionaire, I am TJ Legacy. Appreciate y'all. We're 2 years in and we're just getting started. We are out. Oh, peace.
Tell them what we talking about. Anything. Tell them what we talking about. Anything. Welcome to the Soapboxx. Welcome to the Soapboxx. Welcome to the Soapboxx.